Hey, gang. Going live just a smidge early while I get you guys in here. Take a seat. Get your feet up. Relax a little bit. We will be having our guests. Hopefully, we'll be Hopefully, we'll be joining us sometime soon. I meant to say joining. I went to say doing, and they combined, okay, into a very unfortunate turn of phrases. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to roll with it. This is why you tune in for my gaffes. Okay, I know that. I know that's why you all are here. But give me 1 second. Let me make sure that they know. Yeah, they're responding. Jump backstage whenever you are ready. You should have permission. Smiley face. Okay, hopefully they'll be here soon. And we'll figure out the technical stuff, and then we'll get started, and it should be a great show. Gang, who are we talking to today? We're going to be talking to, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's been on CNN and other shows, and his content has as well. He's a TikToker by the name of Daddy Milagro. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. But he went to the UCLA protests and recorded his experience there. And it's worth a watch. It's worth seeing how he was treated, the interactions, and it's worth talking about his story. So we're going to have him on hopefully as soon as we figure out how to get him here, and then we'll talk to him. So if you have questions throughout this, if you have things you want me to ask him or anything like that, by all means. Also, he says he's cool with call-ins later. So at the end of this, if you want to call in and talk to him and ask him questions for yourself, be my guest. We'll be providing links soon. Give me 1 moment. Message requests. Accept DMs. Is this guy? Let me make sure it's him. Oh, Give me 1 moment, please. Sorry. Technical difficulties, but we will get here shortly. Everyone, look, not everyone's familiar with Discord. Not everyone knows how to use it. Let me send him the link again. It's all good. Invite. We'll do a copy, and we will give it to him directly. A moment, please. Bum, 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 bum. But otherwise, how you guys been doing? How's your weekends going? Are you guys having a fun week so far? It's Monday. Yeah, I think so too. I'm really excited that he agreed to do this. We talked about the protests, but it will be nice to talk to someone who was at the protests. Videos can only take us so far in trying to understand what's going on there and the dynamics. We'll see. Give me 1 moment, like I said. Boom. Let's give him rolls. Okay. And if you're watching this, Milagro, sir, just you should have permissions. You jump backstage. I think I've given you permissions, and you should just jump backstage. It's at the top of the Discord. You click that button. You click the join voice, right? And I'll pull you in to the live session, and we'll talk, and we'll have a conversation. Sound good? Hopefully. We'll see how it goes, right? I promise, gang. I promise we'll have conversations soon. I did not mean for this to be live tech support. So, conservative liberalism, hello, nice to see you. Sornos, always a pleasure. Good to have you. Intense Complex, did he win? I don't know if he won. Does anyone here win? Let me give him the... okay, so I don't know if he keeps making new accounts. Here.
Yo, am I
Hey!
doing? I've never used this app before. Am I doing this correct?
Almost. We're gonna get you in the right place in 1 second, sir. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you a link.
Okay, I'm not in the right place.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all good. But yeah, I'll give you a link and then
lost
we'll...
connection with you, bro. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sure. I'm gonna send you a link. You're gonna hit that link. I'm gonna give you permissions to join backstage, which is at the top of my Discord, and then I'll drag you in, and everyone will be able to see and hear you. Sounds good?
All right, that's gonna come to my email, or that's gonna
It's gonna
come
come right here to this Discord. So keep this open. I'm gonna close out and give you that link right now. Is that cool?
All right, so just stay on here.
Stay on here. Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool.
I'll see you soon. Gang. Copy. Okay, yeah. He should be able to click that, and we'll get him in. Yeah, technology. Am I right, gang? Beautiful. Beautiful. Will this work? We will find out in 1 second. Oh no. You know what? Fuck it. Hold on. One moment. Stay with us. Stay with us. Gang, I promise there's going to be a show. He's right here. You guys heard him just a second ago. Okay? Well, I think you heard him. I think my sound setting's correct. We will get it working. I promise you. Nah, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to call him. And we're going to pop it out. And then hopefully we'll figure it out. Okay, can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you. Am I good? Am I in the right space?
Yeah, just turn on your camera and we'll be good to go. It's you know what? It's not the right space, but you know what? We're gonna make it work, and we're gonna have it go, and it'll be a show, and we'll get this done. First of all, thank you for being willing to come on and talk to us. I really do appreciate it.
Get the number. Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate the invite. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, of course. So, for those of you who don't know, Milagro here went to the UCLA protests a few days ago and recorded his experience there, recorded how he was treated, recorded what happened, and he's told his story on his TikTok channel, which we'll be providing links for, and you can click that, and I encourage you to go watch it for yourself. He's graciously agreed to come on to talk about his experience. So I guess I'll just pass the ball to you and just ask you, first of all, what exactly were you trying to do when you went to these protests? Like, what was your purpose there? Why were you trying to go in and videotape them, please?
Yeah, so basically I'm a UCLA student, you know what I'm saying? And I was all the way just supporting the movement they had going on. I thought it aligned with everything that led up to me getting to UCLA and led up to me being about to start grad school soon. So I was just there to show them some love. And when I came into the encampment, the protest encampment, they started stopping me, telling me I couldn't record, I couldn't take pictures. They started throwing blankets in my face, started throwing scarves in my face. They started just acting a fool. So I try to just, do my thing, stay cool. I lost my cool a little bit, but I remained. I didn't put my hands on nobody, nothing crazy like that. And then my brother, they had me held up for like an hour, just so you understand. They tried to shove me out the space. When that didn't work, they surrounded me and just like kept me stuck in one spot for like a good hour. My big brother showed up. They didn't want no smoke, so they got scared. And then once they let me free, once they let me free, the CNN, Fox News, and all the other KTLA started interviewing me and stuff. And then it just kind of went viral from there. And then after it went viral, people started uh asking me like why did they stop you? Why did they mess with you? And the surprising thing is I'm black and white, you know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
and they had stopped me, and their explanation was they thought I was an Israeli agitator. So at UCLA, if you stop a student from accessing a public part of the campus based on their ethnicity, that's a crime. It's a violation of the school's statutes, but it's also a crime here in California. So by them stopping me because they thought I was Israeli, they were they were showing their anti-Semitism, their true colors. So that kind of just made me mad. Like my pops is from Mississippi. Um, he's African American, and he was born before the Civil Rights Act. He went through segregation, and lived through the integration of the schools. So you're not going to tell me that Jewish students can't access certain parts of the campus without stipulations. They would let Jewish students in if they would denounce anti-Semitism. So I mean denounce Zionism. So that's why I got the Zionism shirt on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I wore it on Fox News, and just turned up on it because at the end of the day, I stand for zero tolerance for anti-Semitism at UCLA. And even my daughter is wearing the "Let My People Go" shirt, and that's the hashtag. That's the hashtag for the Love Is Real movement to bring the hostages back home. So at the end of the day, I feel like they just messed with the wrong person, and now they've been exposed for who they truly are. And there's lawsuits coming, and yeah, that's how it's going.
Makes sense. I guess just to kind of pick at a few things, if I will, if I may, I should say. So when you got there, you said this experience lasted about an hour, right? So you showed up,
Yep.
they held you hostage or captive or what have you for about an hour. During that time, like when they surrounded you, did you ever ask to leave? Did you ever were you ever like, hey, I just want to get out of here. Can you just let me go? Like, or were they simply trying to keep you from accessing more of the campus? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so basically, when I came in, they wanted me to sign a check-in sheet. Now, I've lived on 48th and Compton, 48th Avenue and Compton Boulevard, which is in South LA, and that's if you know that neighborhood, that's a rough neighborhood. And I was the secretary of the Central Alameda Neighborhood Council there. I brought grants in to help out the kids, a lot of good stuff. I brought the kids on tours of UCLA, brought them to Clippers games, all that good stuff. So I'm not checking in with nobody. Like if I don't feel like I got to check in with the gangs in the hood, then why would I check in with the protesters? Who do they think they are? So I did not sign their check-in sheet. And then when I went in, they started following me around, and I'm like, "Yo, do you like my cologne? Do I smell good to you? Like, why is you breathing down my neck?" And so they just kept like telling me like, "You got to follow the SJP rules." And I'm like, "I don't have to. Who is the SJP that don't make rules at UCLA campus? Like, I don't have to follow nothing they're saying." So when they had me surrounded, they was telling me like, we'll open a hole in the human wall that
A
they
corridor
built.
or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the circle they had around me. They're saying we'll open an exit and you can go through the exit and leave. And I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like every time they try to do that, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna actually explore the rest of this area, take photos and video. And when my brother showed up, sure enough, they got scared and they let me explore the rest of that thing and take photos and videos. And they was like, your brother's not gonna start any problems, is he? We're really sorry about that. We really thought you were an Israeli agitator. Like, nah, bro, we're not trying to hear none of that, bro. At
What
the
all
end of
did
it,
you what all were you able to see once you were able to kind of go around, get some video, kind of look at what the protest was like? Uh what was the mood there? What was the atmosphere? How did you see any anti-Semitism? Tell us about it a
oh
little
yeah,
bit.
Oh yeah, so they were making anti-Semitic chants. I reported the anti-Semitic slurs that were graffitied up all over the place on a 100-year-old brick building, Royce Hall. They had everything you could think of. Like I just did a Newsmax interview this morning. Newsmax had to blur a lot of the graffiti because the anti-Semitic graffiti is not allowed to be shown on the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? So they had to blur those parts. But it's still you can still see it online. Like you can go you check out my videos and see it online. But yeah, they basically had they had the SJP organizers they had literature there. They're basically trying to take over the United States of America is their goal. They want to take over the country. They want to overthrow what we got it situated. And one of their other goals, they think they want to foment overthrowing the nation of Israel. So they really want to overthrow two sovereign nations. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Trump supporters, you know what I'm saying? They got charged with federal crimes for being accused of something very similar. And these dudes got citations. Like my homie Ryan, like even though we on two different sides of this, I still respect his integrity and he respect my integrity. So we're gonna keep it like that. He got a citation. If I wouldn't did the same thing, I would have got a felony. You know what I'm saying? So he's not even realizing like, bro, your privilege, where you coming from, what you got is letting you get a slap on the wrist for committing like a major crime. And if someone like me was to do the same thing, bro, we getting real felony charges that's gonna stick. So it just all the way around was a crazy environment.
Damn. So they were given anti-Semitic chants. Now, obviously, if they were using slurs, please don't say them. I'm monetized. I don't want my channel to be
Right,
unmonetized.
right.
But can you give us like an example of some of the things that they were chanting that you found anti-Semitic? Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah, they were chanting against the existence of that entire nation. They had a whole lot of different ones, and it's a lot of it's on video. A lot of it's been exposed to the world, so I've already put it out there.
Yeah, gang,
But
check it out.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've got legal representation. Like the discovery during discovery, it's all gonna come to light. Like I've had a case against UCLA for 2 years that just got found out on May 2nd that the professor was guilty of anti-Semitic slurs, and that was from fall 2022. It took them 2 years. So
Yeah.
this case probably gonna take a little while, but it's gonna come to light, and they're gonna be held responsible. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of like things coming to light and people's response to your videos, people's response to the things that you were able to videotape and to put out in the world. Um, you said you've been interviewed by people like Fox News, Newsmax. You did one this morning, etc. Like, has there from people in general, just in general, right? I'm not talking news organizations or podcasters or anything like that. What has the reception, good and bad, been to what you've released? Have you gotten a lot of blowback for this? Have you gotten any threats? Are there any people who are coming after you? What has been your experience in that regard, please?
Yeah, so I had threats on my life. Somebody upped the blicky on me and threatened to blick me and my brother down, which I
Okay,
caught.
I'm a blick. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. Oh, okay,
I ain't gonna say
okay,
that. You
okay,
monetized.
sure,
I ain't
sure,
gonna say the word, but he,
sure,
he
sure.
upped the blick. He threatened to blick me and my brother down. And his Instagram page is full of pictures of him with different types of blicks. So we know he was serious about it. He was yelling Zionist supporter, and he was threatening to blick us down. So one of them sucker punched my brother. They broke my phone, the front of my phone screen. They stole my other selfie stick. Um, they just they've been yeah, they've been threatening to take me out. They've been threatening to take me out over it, and I just been trying to just stand tall and speak the truth and spread my message as much as I can because they gunning for me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Like at the end of the day, when
Fair
you
enough.
when you stand up for something that other people disagree with, they're gonna come for you. So they gunning for me, and I'm just trying to get my message out there. You know what I'm
Now, what
saying?
what would your response be to those people who've accused you? And I've seen these accusations, right? That they accuse
Right.
you of being a grifter, someone who's just trying to monetize this, someone who's trying to use this as a method to kind of get money from the school and just kind of like run a scam on everyone.
Right.
What
Right.
what would
Right.
your
Right.
response be to that?
Yeah, so basically, my thing is like this. I was born in homelessness. I've been in poverty my whole life. Me and my daughter used to live in Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? I'm a single father living in poverty. And I've been in Central Alameda Neighborhood Council. I've been the vice chair of the LAUFD Parent Advisory Committee. I've worked in city government nonprofits. I've worked with the National Youth Forum on homelessness. I've done a lot for the community. As far as getting grants, as far as taking the kids on different opportunities and activities. I don't the money thing is cool. Like, everybody love money. It's a capitalist society. You got to get money. One of the reasons why I don't rock with the protesters is because they sprayed on the ATMs F money. Like, if you spraying F money on the ATMs, I know we not on the same page because I'm an American and I'm trying to get to the money. So when this all popped off, I just spoke my truth. I just spoke my piece, and it kind of went viral. And I had 1,000 followers on TikTok. I had 0 followers on X. I had no support system in LA. It just been me and my daughter struggling the whole time. I just went and ate food with a Jewish family for Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? This group called 𝕾𝖍𝖎𝖙 just showed me how to make a GoFundMe. So now I have a GoFundMe. So if they mad that the people that I spoke up for are showing me love and helping me get some coins, good. Let them be mad. I want them to be big mad, because that just goes to show that you was on the wrong side. If you had been on the side I was on, you would have supporters showing you love. You would have people trying to teach you, you know what I'm saying, how to get you some money when I had 74 cents in my bank account when this all popped off. So at the end of the day, I feel like they could feel however they want to feel. At the end of the day, I'm locked in with some real people, some good people, and they showing me love, and that's how it's supposed to be. So that don't bother me at all. Like, I'm pretty sure they said the same thing about every black person that came from nothing and tried to get something in this nation. They probably done said what you just said about them. And some of them, I'm sure, was very bothered. But I come from real poverty, real struggle, and accusing me of getting money is never going to be an insult to me. That's going to be a compliment to me. That's going to let me know that I'm
Well,
living up to the American dream.
no, I look, as someone who also monetizes this content, I'm with you. But the argument is, right, that that you have done this. So the argument would be that the money taints the honesty of your content. So that the fact that you are getting money from Jewish groups and things like that shows that you were never actually on the side of Palestine at all. That you were an agitator from the beginning. That would be the argument. That this is evidence that you were simply a paid actor, if you will.
Right, right. And you know what? I think that's really it's pretty silly. B, I think that people should go watch the Alex Jones documentary that I just watched, where Alex Jones was saying that the parents of these kids at this school were crisis actors, and he took that same nonsense to court, and everybody had discovery, and they let the facts speak. I didn't have a single Jewish friend before this popped off. I wouldn't have been able to name a single Jewish organization. But if you look back at fall of 2022, when there was anti-Semitic comments being made by Professor 𝕾𝖍𝖎𝖙 at UCLA, I filed a Title IX complaint with a Muslim student. And that Title IX complaint is on my X page right now. The full complaint as a Dropbox file so everyone can see it. And it's got all the facts and all the points of view. So at the end of the day, no matter where I've been, my father's from the Nation of Islam. I don't know if you know their history, but they don't speak out very well about Israel. It don't matter where I've been in life or who I've been around. If I'm at a Nation of Islam meeting, it don't matter where I'm at. If my own brother, anyone, was to say something that's anti-Semitic, I'm gonna speak up because it's wrong. And that goes for any group, not just the Semitic group. That goes for any group. If you was to say, like, I remember when I was in the hood, there's a lot of people who use like what we've been through, our struggles, that what we've been kept down, to talk bad about white people. We was driving around one day, this beautiful white woman was jogging, and I was like, "Oh man, she's beautiful." And bro was like, "What? That's And then he used a slur about white people, and I spoke up in that moment for white people. And it don't matter what group you are, who you are, I'm gonna speak up for you if someone's attacking you based on your race, your ethnicity, your creed, your religion, your sexuality, or your gender, because those are basic values that we have as citizens of the United States of America. So at the end of the day, I just spoke up for what was right. I didn't have no expectations about it. I didn't know that those cameras they stuck in my face was going to be CNN, Fox News, and KTLA. I didn't know that people was going to watch my videos. It happened overnight, and once it started happening, it just kept happening. And people hit me up and told me, now that this is happening, these are some things you can do. Now that you're going through this, you need to set up this, you need to do that. So it's not like things was in place beforehand, or anyone knew me beforehand. It just happened. I was pretty much atheist at that moment, But by that happening, man, I got full faith in God. Like if I could literally be in that situation where I thought I was gonna have to give up on grad school because I got accepted to grad school, but I don't got no money to pay for it, and now people are telling me like, bro, we're gonna make sure that you're able to go to grad school. Like I gotta believe that was God. You know what I'm saying? Like so, if somebody say, oh, that's because somebody set it up. Okay, you know who set it up? It was God. And if you got a problem with God's decisions, you go upstairs and take that up to God. That's how I feel about it.
So you've and maybe this is misinformation, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you've
Oh
called
yeah, yeah,
yourself a First Amendment auditor.
absolutely,
What
absolutely.
is that in your opinion? Like, can you elaborate a little bit? And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
can you
Sure.
yeah, just describe what that is?
Yeah, so being here in Los Angeles, you know, it's kind of funny how people will go into the hood and do research on the hood from UCLA, but you know, Beverly Hills and everything is gated off. And you know, Rodeo Drive, you can't really you know, get access to a lot of those places without an appointment, a lot of those stores and stuff. So for me, coming from the hood where we get followed around, going into the stores, and you know we just have a different experience. You know, I seen on YouTube some of these dudes would like go to the businesses and just start recording with their phone, and when the police would show up they would be like, yo, this is my First Amendment right, you know, I can record in public spaces. So I thought that was hilarious, and I used the same thing that they used at the protest. I'm like, yo, I can record, this my First Amendment right. And so they try to tell me I'm not allowed to record or not allowed to take photos. But First Amendment auditor is just someone who makes sure that, you know, they're able to express their right to record in these spaces, and that they're not their civil rights aren't violated, which mines were being violated at these spaces for trying to record. So it was just basically I was showing the hypocrisy and the irony of the people I thought was my supporters, but they turned out to be, you know, fascists in training who were trying to tell people what they could and could not do, and what rights they're
Fascists in
allowed to have.
training. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, there's strong words. Like, there's very strong words. So, like,
It's their words that they say
fair enough.
about the right, and I'm just flipping it around and using it on them.
Fair enough. Um, you also brought your daughter to these. I saw a few of
Oh
them
yeah, yeah,
with your
yeah. So
daughter in there.
I'm a single father. I'm not
Mhm.
really trying to put her on camera right now because her hair is not braided right now.
Sure,
And
sure.
this older black lady saw one of the videos she was in, and she was giving me a good scolding for having my daughter on video without her hair being done. So I'm gonna make sure the next time she's on video, her hair is gonna be
Makes
done.
sense.
You know, take it to make sure she's looking very presentable and brand new. You know what I'm saying? So they don't say nothing like that.
Well, the reason I ask, right, is given the fact that you did feel attacked, unsafe, and all these things, what if you felt that way? Why would you bring your daughter into a situation like that?
So let me explain something to you. Me and my daughter been with me since day one. We came from 𝕵𝖎𝖎𝖙. We came from the north side of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where she was born. And people done blicked the car down with my daughter in my lap. One of the projectiles went into the back of the headrest where I was sitting at with my daughter in my lap. We don't walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no man. So my daughter been with me every step of the way, and she gonna be with me the rest of the steps of the way. And we're protected by the Most High. So you know, she came with me because she had activities at that campus. They had youth programming at that campus, and I'm her father, so I brought her to the youth programming, and we were on the way to the bus stop. Now the bus stop happens to be past where they was blocking off the school. That's the most convenient way to get there. So I'm gonna go the way I want to go. They're not gonna tell me, "Oh, you go the long way and go around." No, I'm not going a long way and going around. Back in Mississippi, they was telling us what water fountain we could drink out of, and we drank out of the one we wanted to drink out of. We got our civil rights, so I'm gonna practice all my rights anywhere I want to. I got my GED in prison. I for sure am going to access any part of the campus I want to access, because there's a statistic that says less than 1% of all Americans who get their GED in prison will ever get any type of college degree. That's associate's degree, anything. And I'm getting a bachelor's degree from UCLA. So I'm not gonna let no little punk Marxist, little soy boy in training tell me I can't access services at my campus. That's never going down like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you and I understand. Have you been paying attention to some of the other protests throughout, like the ones at Columbia, the ones in the University of Texas? Do you have any opinions on those?
Absolutely, and I do have an opinion. My main opinion right now is that what they're doing to those frat boys at Ole Miss is wrong. The frat boy was excited because you know, the big girls need love too, but the big Lizzo looking girl was flipping them off and going crazy. and he was jumping up and down, getting excited as people do at these type of environments. And he was saying like, "Oh, oh, oh!" Like when you get excited, you'd be like, "Oh, oh!" And
Oh, okay. So you're
they
talking
try to
just
take a clip. They try to take a clip of that out of context and say he was calling her a monkey and making monkey noises. No, he was not. And for them to keep trying to push this black versus white narrative, the media should be ashamed of themselves. That frat boy is being called a racist. They're showing his face all over the media. And I think that people need to stand up for him and others like him, because he wasn't doing nothing but trying to protect his US values. He was trying to protect that campus from these protesters who want to overthrow this country and want to overthrow Israel. And he wasn't even doing it politically active or aware. He was just doing it off the fact that, this I'm a student here and they trying to come on my campus and do the same things that I seen they did over there. And he didn't do nothing but just get excited and say, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they try to make that seem like he was saying, ooh, 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 ah, ah.
the clip
I'm like,
does look
nah,
bad.
bro.
I haven't
Nah,
looked
bro.
into the situation
They're tripping for that.
enough,
They're
but
wrong
the
for that.
clip does look bad. But fair enough. If that's what you think, that's what you think. Um, fair. So I guess what would you have? The question would be, if this isn't the way to protest, if they're Marxists in training, little soy boys, etc., what if you did want to be a pro-Palestine protester? How would you go about it? Other
They
than
don't.
this,
They don't. You first of all, you would have people from Palestine in control of your movement. These people in the SJP and the FJP are almost all, with barely an exception, white and the most privileged white people you've ever seen. One of my homies who go to another UC who's from the hood, he wanted to be a part of the SJP leadership, and he wanted to bring all the homeless people from their encampment into the encampment on the campus, and they could have some solidarity with the other people who live in encampments. They said, "No, sorry, we're not allowed to do that, and you're not allowed to make decisions because you're not a part of the SJP leadership. And anytime you want to do anything involved with SGP, you got to go through us. And the us wasn't Palestinian, and the us didn't look like nobody from Palestine. So how was a bunch of privileged white people speaking up for what the Palestinian people think or what they're going through? They're cosplaying as Palestinians. They don't like cultural appropriation, but they done dressed up as Palestinians, made pretend refugee camps, and cosplayed as Palestinians. They done went so far as to go on the news and tell the public with statements that they need human rights supplies. Like, bro, you're not in a real refugee camp. You're not oppressed people. You're the most privileged people on earth. When you do what you do, you get a citation. If you really was from the struggle, you'd probably get unalived, or you would get some felony charges. So them trying to cosplay as oppressed and make it seem like they're going through something, it's a trend and it's a phase for them. And they're gonna grow out of it, and they're gonna look back at it and realize how silly and ridiculous it was, and how they were just used by funders. Look at the Politico report, the funding that's coming from Biden donors. Look at the other reports, funding that's coming from groups that have been disbanded for supporting Hamas. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not telling anybody how to protest except telling them to follow the law and protest peacefully. That's the only way I'll tell someone to protest. But these people aren't about protesting. They're about using the idea of a peaceful protest to come in and take advantage of getting into the space so that they can try to foment chaos, foment rebellion, and try to overthrow this country. And at the end of the day, they're gonna fail. Americans ain't gonna let it happen.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, this is the first I'm hearing of them wanting to overthrow the country. I understand that there's a lot of people who say that, like, Marxism in general, right, are looking to kind of infiltrate spaces and things like that. Um, what would you say to the people who are watching these protests, to the people who are looking at all the different sides and angles and the opinions from all these different people, and who disagree with you, who say, "Well, no,
Right.
I think that these protests are largely peaceful.
Yep.
The videos such as that you've shown, they didn't put their hands on you, right? They
They
didn't."
did. They did put their hands on me. I have many videos where they put their hands on me. Absolutely, they did. There would not be a lawyer. There would not be a lawyer who has law offices in D.C. and Los Angeles taking my case for free of charge if they didn't put their hands on me on video. That wouldn't make any sense. They put their hands on me on video multiple times. There's police reports
Well, they would
that
say this is
show.
the outlier. Like, you would be the outlier. Like, in most
Right.
cases,
So
they didn't do it
right.
right. Like,
So if people want to say I'm the outlier, if people want to say that I'm a that what happens to me isn't what happens to me usually, hey, I don't have the data or the algorithm to defend against that. At the end of the day, I would say I'm the outlier in any situation. I'm mixed. I'm half black, half white. If you look at the census, if you pick two or more races, you're the outlier. I got a GED in prison, so if I'm at UCLA, I'm an outlier. I'm a parenting student at UCLA, so I am the outlier. Like in every way you can look at it, I'm the outlier. And coming from where I'm coming from, living in Skid Row, living in the hood, coming from nothing, being raised in homelessness, being in juvie jail prison, and making it to where I'm at, I'm the outlier. So I have no problem with people saying like I'm the outlier. If that's the case, then that's the case. But at the end of the day, the outlier is going to speak. Every dog has his day, and this outlier right here is telling his story, and that's where they counted me out. They thought because I was poor, they thought because I didn't have what they have, I'm on a bus. They talking about why is he gonna get some money out of this? Oh, I get it. You want me to stay on the bus. You want me to stay riding the bus. You want me to stay in homeless shelters and having to take out government assistance. That's the thing. You don't want to see me upgrade and get to a higher level. You don't want to see me unite with people that actually can help me get some opportunities. You want me to stay with the bummy protesters who got money, because it takes privilege to say that it takes a lot of privilege to say that I'm going to sit here and spend my time protesting. People got jobs to go to. People got kids to take care of. People got homework to do. People got tests to do. People have a life outside of protesting. These people don't have that. They're the ones who can't get into the frat party. They're the ones who can't get into the house party. The protest is the party to them. And the ones funding it and the ones controlling it, they're the ones who got the agenda and the ideology. And if they can get some young people to back it, of course they're gonna do it. Who wouldn't if you're an ideological type of person? I don't have an ideology. I don't have an agenda. I'm just a single dad that's trying to raise my daughter and trying to get through school. So at the end of the day, if me bumping into these losers and exposing them is going to somehow help me get through school and take care of my daughter, that's crazy. Like I'll take those circumstances falling into my lap any day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
So
mentioned.
I don't mind being an outlier. I would love to be the outlier of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. You said earlier, right, that when you first initially came in, you were very much
And
sympathetic.
rest in peace to Big Name. My sister had a full scholarship to Marquette University, and she isn't here to do that. So I'm doing school for her. Rest in peace, Big Name.
Oh, my condolences. Sorry for your loss.
So
Um,
I appreciate it.
when you initially came in, right, to the protest, you said that you were
Initially,
initially much more pro-Palestine, right? Much more free Palestine, all that. I saw a TikTok
absolutely,
of you wearing a free
absolutely,
Palestine shirt, etc.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
yeah, the question would be, um, obviously this has made you much more pro-Israel. Has this also changed your politics in other ways, and how so? Like, can
Absolutely.
you?
So before this happened, I did not vote in the last presidential election. Here, even the local elections here in Los Angeles, I didn't vote for it. I was feeling very apathetic. I was even spiritually, I was feeling very atheist. I just felt like just giving up on everything. Things just didn't seem like they were going in any place, and I just was like feeling miserable. It felt like LA's every year I've been here, the homelessness crisis has gotten worse. The crime is getting worse. I just felt like, man, there's no hope. And by this happening, I think there is hope. I think that if you was to turn this blue state red, there would be a lot of hope. I'm definitely voting for Trump in the upcoming election. I'm going to use my platform to speak out about how the way Donald Trump is being targeted is unconstitutional and it sets a terrible precedent. I'm going to use my platform to try to speak up for Republican candidates. And you know what I'm saying? It definitely changed my politics. I would say I was a Democrat before this, and I would say I'm all the way a Republican at this point. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Well, I would I would recommend that you relook at some of that. Like I'm a Biden supporter, to be clear, right? Just so we all know and so everyone's aware, I do get a check from Progressive Victory. They don't sponsor my content, but I do consult with them. But I think that it's good for people to hear and good for people to know that these protests are having an effect on
Right,
people who
right.
are viewing this, people who are part of this. And if you do have progressive values, the effect that these protests are having are not to win people to your cause. They're not changing minds towards your view. What they are doing is they're
Right,
isolating people. They're otherizing. They're making them into enemies. And
right. Exactly.
before you didn't vote, and now you are an enemy to progressive values,
Exactly.
right? Like,
That,
yeah, I guess
that,
yeah, like I guess let me ask this: what could Biden do to change your mind? What could Biden or the Democrats do to win you back, if
Yeah,
anything?
so my new name for Joe Biden is Sleepy Segregationist Joe Biden. And I think that what Sleepy Segregationist Joe Biden could do for me is he could check himself into a nursing home. He could take the medicine that they're going to give him, and he could let a young charismatic candidate step in and take over the party.
Do you have anyone in mind? Hello? Oh no, gang. Hello? Oh no. Oh no. I didn't do this, I promise. He's on a bus. He probably hit oh no. They got him, gang. Biden killed the feed. Oh god. Oh goodness. Give me a second. Hopefully we'll get him back here. We'll give him a moment, and hopefully his data will his connection will reconnect, and we can get back and talk about it more, because now I'm really curious, right? He said something about having information that would lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton, then he disappeared, and I don't know what's going on with that, but tech issues, gang. Tech issues. Give me a second. Here, let me try calling him again. I'll try recalling. Uh-oh. Well, friends. Brothers, sisters. I don't know if we're going to get him back. Hopefully we will. Watch Hillary answer the Discord call. Rashad, you're pretty funny. Keto Burrito, guess you can do a call-in show now? I guess so. I would like to talk to him some more, but it is what it is. Okay. Well, gang, I guess if you have thoughts, I wanted to do call-ins with him. I wanted to have people call in and connect with him. But if you have thoughts on what we've talked about, if you have ideas on what's been going on, right? Like some of the things he said, some of the incidents that he's put out there. And I will link his content, his TikTok, his X account. I'll be putting those links up in the YouTube chat and in the Twitch chat. Please give him a follow. Give him some love. He was kind enough to come on my show, but yes, he did say that Frozen Night. But please, I guess we're gonna do some call-ins until we get here. Let me retransition. A moment, ladies, gentlemen. If you, my dear viewers, if you want to talk to us, talk to me specifically, by all means, please, !Discord and chat. Click the button, accept the rules, and then jump in. Here, give me 1 second. Let me link you his X account, and let me link you his content. So give me 1 second. Let me do that for him. I'm sorry that he went away. Here is his Twitter. Please give him a follow. And for my one viewer on Kick. And there, and let me also get his TikTok. Give me one moment. Well, here, I'll just give you his website. He has a website. and it has links to all of his stuff. So let me give that to you in the chat. And you can check out his content when you can. But for now, we got some stuff to do. Let's pull some people in and talk with them a little bit. Hello, you're live. Hello.
What up, Brody?
You're live. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question because what your guest said kind of seems like a reasonable take, to be honest with you. Do you think that do you think that it's a fair criticism that the majority of the protesters probably live very privileged lives and
Yes,
come from
they're
like
going to
privileged
Ivy League
households?
colleges by definition.
Yeah, like if they were like working two jobs to pay for school, they wouldn't have time to protest. They'd be too busy and too tired, right? And they wouldn't be wanting to waste the money that they're working hard to pay to go to college, right? They wouldn't want to
Sure,
waste that money.
I'm sure there are exceptions to that. I'm sure that there are
No, no,
people who have
I'm sure
struggled
there's
within the
exceptions.
protests, but
I mean
yes,
the majority.
as a
Yeah,
general rule, I think that if you were protesting as a student on an Ivy League campus, you've led a pretty privileged life. As a general
yeah,
rule, you are at least in a position where you are just better off than the majority of the country and the people your age in the
yeah,
country. So yeah.
yeah. You probably come from not necessarily come from money, but you probably come from a very privileged household, especially if you're going to like schools like UT, UCLA. Like these schools aren't cheap. Tuition is not fucking cheap. It's like $50,000.
By all means, yeah, it's a lot of money.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
it's definitely a
you can
lot of
get Pell Grants, you can get scholarships,
yeah,
and I'm sure some of them do have these things. But even that is a privilege, right? To be able to get these
yes,
kinds of
yeah,
things is a privilege. That
yeah.
said, I don't think that invalidates their point necessarily, right? Simply
No, no,
because you have
no. I don't
privilege
think it
doesn't
invalidates.
mean what you're doing doesn't have value, merit, or shouldn't be heard. I think that this is a
Well,
mistake we make a lot of times, is saying that someone has privilege and therefore they are less than, or their opinion should be um, counted for less. And I think that's a mistake. I think it's kind of like this zero sum game that we play at times, and I don't like it. I think that
no, I don't like it
regardless of
either.
the privilege of the messenger, it's the message itself that matters. And yeah, I
Well,
think
it
that's
depends. I would say it depends in certain situations, right? Like I don't I think it has to come from an actual genuine place, right? I think that there are a lot of people, especially in America, who have certain opinions that aren't genuine, right? They don't feel this way, or they don't truly believe what they're saying, and they don't truly believe in what they're doing. They're only doing it because they're a member of a specific group, and that specific group has that ideology. That specific group has that belief system, and they have to behave in these ways. Otherwise, they'll just be ostracized out of those groups, if that makes sense.
it does make sense. Though I don't know. So there's two threads to pull out here, right?
Mm,
The genuineness of the messenger matters to a point, but I
yeah.
think that you can be disingenuous but still say a true thing. You can say a true
Again,
thing for all sorts of reasons, for
yeah.
bad reasons, for evil reasons, in fact, for reasons to try to grift others, right? But that thing you say, the truth of that statement does not rely on your integrity, honesty, or anything. The statement itself stands on its own. Now, how
Again,
serious we
yeah.
should
I
take
agree.
people who say such things, like how we should treat the individuals saying those things, is a different question, right?
Yeah.
But when you also talk about how a lot of these people are simply signaling to their in groups, I think that's very
Yeah.
true. And I think that
Yeah.
happens all the time across the political spectrum, right? Right, left, center. There we people say things that are unpopular in order to signal their in-group, right, to their in-group. So they will say
Yeah.
a thing
Yeah.
that's a very unpopular opinion on the across the political spectrum, but is very popular within a certain political mindset. Like, so
Yes.
they'll
Yeah.
say, yeah, and they'll, and this kind of unfortunately has the added effect of being kind of circular. So what I mean by that is it drives to more extremism. So in order to signal
Yeah.
how much of a leftist you are, you say a very leftist thing. And in order for others around you to outdo you, they will say even more extreme things to show, well, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you may say you're a leftist, but I'm even more of an extreme leftist, and here's my
Yeah.
more extreme take. And it
Yeah.
just
It's like a
ratchets. Yeah, it just keeps
it's like a
going. It's a cycle.
competition of who's who 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 is more X, right? The huge
Absolutely.
competition of who's going harder in the paint.
And you see this in groups that are just outside politics in general. You see this in nerd groups a lot, right? The nerd off
Oh
that
yeah.
people will
Oh
have,
yeah.
right? Well, oh, you
Oh
are a
yeah.
gamer. Well, I'm a gamer because I play 12 hours a day of this
Yeah.
niche game on hard mode. Take that.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a gamer than you are. And then someone else will come, well, oh, only 12 hours? That's pussy shit.
12
I
hours.
did
Look
a
at my
36
Steam.
hours straight with no sleep and all Mountain Dew, Code Red. And I played
Yeah.
on super hard mode with I sped run Dark Souls without attacking a single time, and I won. And you got
Yeah.
this
I didn't die once. And I didn't
exactly,
use any summons.
exactly, and you got it's the same dynamic that takes
Yeah.
place in political groups, but yeah,
Yeah.
um,
You see a lot of that. Not just I would agree. You see that a lot, not just in like politics, but also in like entertainment in general. Like and pretty much in any fandom, like Star Wars, Star Trek, fucking Warhammer, pretty much anything. Like we were having fucking you were there in the Discord about that fucking conversation about Craven.
yeah, it is
Like
what
that
it is.
shit was crazy.
It is
What's
what it
up?
is. Yeah, no, I agree. It does go hard. Well, thank you for calling in.
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate your thoughts. I'll
I
see you later,
appreciate
buddy.
you. Keep it sexy, dude.
I always keep it sexy, gang. I always keep it sexy. Gang, if you have thoughts on my conversations with Milagro, which unfortunately got cut short, or if you have thoughts on just the protests in general, and you would like to call in, we'll do a little more call-ins. I might call it an early night tonight. I don't know. He hasn't got back to me. Maybe he was bored of the conversation. I don't know. He was having troubles with Discord before getting on. It might just be a thing. I don't know what happened. I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't get in an accident or anything. But yeah, I think that it's telling, right? It's telling how this is radicalizing people, but not in a positive direction. That these protests have really been a vehicle for people who were either apolitical or leaned sort of left, sort of right, to be driven to more extremism. I think that this is one of the unintended consequences when you have such such activities. Like, so one of the things about the civil rights movement, the riots in 1968, one of the unintended consequences of that, a lot of people will point to it as like, oh, look, we got the Civil Rights Act because of that. Debatable, but even if true, what we also got was the election of Richard Nixon, who was, I promise you, not a good pro-black voice, right, or pro-minority voice. In fact, he set back progress by decades on a lot of issues. And I think that this is kind of some of these unintended consequences when we have certain types of protests, certain types of free speech. And to be clear, I think that even if a protest is bad, as long as it's not violent, it should be allowed. Nonviolent protests are core to what it means to be American. It's core to what it means to be able to speak your mind, to have free speech and things like that. When it becomes violent, when you engage in destruction or obstruction, I think it not only becomes less of a free speech issue, but it also, what happens is it turns people against your cause. And I think that this is the opposite of what you want to happen when it comes to protests. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. Why does Twitch TV? Where did the dude go? He dropped the call. I'm not sure if he did it on purpose or if it was because of the signal because he was on the bus. But either way, the call got dropped, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to get him back on. So that sucks. That sucks. Well, yeah, it looked like signal to me. I don't think he did it on purpose. It looked like he lost signal, and then unfortunately it happens. Gang, that's what I had prepped for you, though. So unless we got more callers, we might just have to call it for tonight. Gang, did you like this content? Did you enjoy it? If you enjoyed this content and you would like to see me get more people on like this, if you want to support my channel, great ways to do it. You can sub to the channel on YouTube. You can like the stream, and I encourage you to do so. That's all free. You can follow me on Twitch or Kick, also free. Doesn't cost you a dime. If you'd like to support me financially, which you can donate through Super Chats. You can gift subs on Twitch. You can become a YouTube member, and you can gift YouTube memberships. All these things are good things. All these things are things you should do because, gang, I like money. And I'm going to monetize my content. And I'd love for to be able to keep doing this until well into my old age. And I'd love for you to help me do that. And, so if you got $5, $10, throw. I have a YouTube, 𝕵𝖎𝖙 at WhickTV is my YouTube channel. Come check me out. More people watch me on YouTube than do on Twitch normally. I don't know if that's the case today, but it is what it is. But yes, I am glad we got him for the time we did. I do appreciate his willingness to come on. I have put links to his Twitter and to his website in chat. If you want to go support him, if you'd like to follow him, even if you don't like what he said and just want to find out more about him, give him a follow. Click the links, right? Go check him out. And, yeah, do what you can. Encourage people to come on my stream. That's a good thing. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Should we give him another minute? I don't know. It's been a while. I don't think he's coming back, gang. That's sad. But we had fun. We got an hour of content. We got some great content coming up for you later in the week. On tomorrow, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a representative from Progressive Victory come on and talk about ways you could get involved. So if you've been sitting there and you've been like, hey, I want to get in on this Progressive Victory action, okay? I want to come in and do some actual political advocacy, actual political work. I'd like to be influential in at least a small way. What can I do? How can I get on board this train? Okay. Well, we're gonna have a representative from the Progressive Victory team, official representative, come on and talk to you guys about phone banking opportunities, canvassing opportunities. Do you know we host canvas houses where you can you can get paid to canvas? Like you can get a stipend and things like that. The details will be given tomorrow. Just let it not be Woo. Woo doesn't work with Progressive Victory anymore. She's not affiliated with Progressive Victory anymore, so it won't be Woo. Wednesday, we're going to have on Fairy Queen. We're going to have on Cham. We're going to have on Lav. We're going to have on 𝕶𝖓. And we're going to talk about man versus bear. Who would you rather be trapped with in the woods, a man or a bear? We'll find out Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we're going to talk about the new anti-Semitism bill that just passed the House. It should be interesting discussion. Is it antithetical to the First Amendment rights that we hold so dear? Is it a threat to free speech? Let's find out. And then on Friday, we are going to be talking about AI girlfriends/boyfriends. Is it ruining our relationships? It'll be great. It'll be fun. Check us out, gang. For now, though, let's see. Where are we going? Let's go to Ice Beans. Let's say hi to Ice Beans. Let her know it's a hate raid. Raiding out. Girl Scouts. I'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Bye.